Okay, we are live. Welcome to everyone who's joining us today. So we are taking a more lighter note today to discuss something that came up to my mind when I was asked a question by one young person who's my younger sister about passion. So I thought let's have a conversation about it. And yeah, so if you are joining us, please send a comment, send a note so that I can see who is there joining us, and just say hi, put a hi there and see who you are, who's there. And yeah, so we'll just give it a few minutes to allow other people to join us, and we will get started. Okay, I think let's get started. I'll start by introducing myself for those who don't know me. I'm Jabulile, and I'll just give you a very short brief on what I do. So this is going to be very casual, so nothing formal. So yeah, so I've got a business that I run for those who don't know. And that business is basically focusing on mentorship and coaching for entrepreneurs, and also a lot of work. I do a lot of work also on data analysis and many other ways of really supporting entrepreneurs. And one of some of the things within the ecosystem, or the entrepreneurship ecosystem, is basically to try to support stakeholders that are trying to support SMMEs in terms of putting together reports and in impact of as different things that impact SMMEs and all that. So generally, my passion really is within the area of entrepreneurship. So I do a lot of things then around that area. So sometimes I do facilitation, like facilitate session, and then as well from there in those facilitation, it tends to be mostly about strategies on how to support entrepreneurs or how to support SMMEs within the space. So that's basically what I do. And just to also indicate, one of the things also that we do is entrepreneurs networking sessions, which normally take a format of breakfast, which we've kind of like now put them a bit on hold because of the COVID-19. But basically, it's sessions where we really try to deal with the issue of entrepreneurs feeling that they are alone, because entrepreneurship can be very lonely. So we try to create a platform where SMMEs or entrepreneurs can come together, network, and make sure that at least they feel that they are not alone. They're not walking the road alone, but there are other entrepreneurs that they kind of like walk with them the same road. And within that platform as well, entrepreneurs are able to build relationships with other people who are running businesses as well. We share experiences during those sessions, and we just have breakfast together and relax a bit, because normally during the week we are always chasing some business. So that's basically in a nutshell what Dr. J Business Support is all about. But also, as now we have moved, a lot of things has moved online. So we just try to keep the conversations really going online. We started in May. So basically what we try to do is that at least once a month, then we have a conversation about a topic of interest. So if you've got any topics really that you want us to discuss, that we are interested, that we can have a conversation about them, feel free to email us or send a message on the comments to say this is one of the topics that I would like us to maybe in one of the sessions to discuss about. So yeah, so that's basically Dr. J Business Support. I see people that are joining there. Nehemiah, I see Meketi. Hi there. Nehemiah, long time. So I'm seeing old friends here joining. Yeah, but anyway, so today basically we're talking about passion. Do we have passion? Are we all busy with things that we are passionate about? So to just give context for those maybe who just joined now in terms of passion, how then this topic came about. My younger sister asked me, how did you find your passion? And I was like, I said to her, it's a long story to explain, because it's not something that you wake up one day and then you found it. It's a long process. Sometimes it can take you 10 years, it can take you 2 years, it can take you 15 years, depending on really whether you are intentional about looking for it, whether you are intentional about finding that passion. And most of the time you find that you only realize really that you have found your passion after you found it. But you will never know if you don't try different things, so that at least you understand to say, is this really my passion? So, and most of the time also it comes as you connect the dots. So you will find that you start with something, like we start very early on, like from high school. You will choose subjects and decide that, okay, I like maths, or I like biology, or I like accounting, and then you decide this is the path I'm going to take. And as you go through some of the things, then you realize that some of the things you thought you like, as you do them, you realize that you don't like them. And I always say this is like when you decide to marry somebody or to make somebody your boyfriend. Sometimes you can think you like them, and then the deeper you get involved, the more you realize that no, you don't like them, or the more you realize that, oh, I really like this person. And that's how it is also with careers, or a type of business that you choose to do. You start something thinking, yo, I like this thing, but as you go along, you realize it's either it's not working for me, or you realize, oh, I really like this thing. So what I did, just to kind of like give a structure to our conversation, is I said really is what is passion really. If we talk about passion, what is our understanding of passion? What are we really referring to as people when we talk about passion? And normally passion is those things that when you do, you enjoy them, you feel fulfilled. You can do them, like you can do the same thing the whole day and you will still enjoy it. And that's what we're talking about. And most of the time you find we spend a lot of time either in our jobs or in our businesses. And that's the reason it becomes important that those things can be, you try to find those things you are passionate about to be part of your job, or either to be the kind of business that you do. Because why? Because that is going to sustain you, because life generally is hard. To wake up every day and go to work is not an easy thing. It can be hard. to wake up every day and try to run your business, especially when the money is not coming, it can be hard. So what is the one thing or one of the things that can sustain you in that during that process when things are hard is to try to do what you are passionate about, and then that can help you a lot. So I'll just share my story as to how I got to found or to find this thing that I like doing. So I started from matric. I'll start from matric. I'm going to try to make it a short story, but within that story, you will get the message that I'm trying to bring across. So when I was in matric, the career choice that I made was that I wanted to be a medical doctor. But when I got to university, I couldn't because my marks didn't allow me to. So I ended up doing BSc. And when I chose being a doctor, I thought I really liked it. And then when I got to university, then I did BSc because I couldn't get into medicine straight. And then I did biological science. I failed some of the modules, so my hope was that I can get into second year medicine. But that didn't happen, so I ended up finishing BSc with statistics. But what I found more than passion at the time, I found that I was passing stats very well, and I started liking it. There were other things that I liked, but I started hating them because then I was not passing them. And that's one of the things that I sometimes say to entrepreneurs, that you can be so passionate about something, but if you keep on failing on it, sometimes you can even lose that passion because you need a balance. As human beings, we still need to survive. We need to earn a living and all that. And it works nicely when you can be able to get the two together, like have your passion and your income kind of like go together. So I ended up then with a master's in statistics. I enjoyed the statistics. I left, went to do my first job as a statistician, which I enjoyed until to a certain extent where I couldn't enjoy it because the platform where I was working there, it was not a platform that really allowed me to expand and explore a bit more about statistics. And I got bored. And then after 6 years or so, then I went to start my first business. And in my first business, I was really passionate about the business, not really about the products, but I was passionate about giving people an excellent service, excellent customer service. And during that time, as much as I was so passionate about that, because the business got to a point where it was not profitable, I ended up not enjoying doing it. And one of the reasons why I'm giving you a sequence of the events is to show that if you don't change things, if you don't keep on trying different things, you will never know what exactly you enjoy. You will never know what exactly is your passion. So if you want to find your passion, you have to be comfortable with change. I started as a statistician. Okay, initially I started, as much as I didn't get into it, I started on wanting to be a medical doctor. Didn't work out. I changed. I went to do statistics. I ended up being a statistician. And then after that, I went to run a business. And you can see that I keep on changing. And the first business that I was doing, I was really selling stationery and promotional items, which had nothing to do with the statistics that I studied at school. But I was already, as much as at the time I didn't understand that, I was busy searching for something that is really going to fulfill me. But that was the process. So most of the time they say we can only connect the dots backwards. But when I sit now and look back and connect, I realize this was really my journey of trying to really find my passion. So I went to run my business full time, the first business where it was stationery and promotional items. I enjoyed it. But when my passion now was not really linked with the income that I wanted to get, the return on or the return on investment was not working. And I started losing also the interest on that. And then I changed. I left the business the first time around. And then now I went to teach at a CPUT. I was lecturing there for about a year. And that's when I realized, that's when it clicked to my mind. As much as I went to CPUT for different reasons, it was like, running a business was hard. I need something light so that I can take a break at least and be able to breathe. But when I got there, then that's when I was able now to pick up. Actually, I really like this teaching thing. And the teaching was never in my list. When I would put first choice, second choice, third choice of what I wanted to do in life, teaching didn't feature anywhere. But now, because there was this failure that has happened, and then I moved to say, let me go try something else, take a break, and just see. Then I will come back again to business. And then when I was at CPUT, I realized, I actually enjoy teaching. The money was not good because at the time also I didn't even have a PhD, so the money was really, I was there on contract, so the money was not good at all. But I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the teaching. And then already now I started thinking that maybe teaching is not a bad idea after all. And that's when now I moved to say, let me maybe do my PhD, because what I picked up as well is that in the academic space, a PhD counts if you want to get somewhere. And then I decided, okay, let me do a PhD. But because and also this PhD, the way I did it now, I started also to have passion to assist other entrepreneurs, because I realized that in my business, when I was running my business, I made a lot of mistakes. Um, um, uh, that maybe if I had somebody close to me who has walked the path before, maybe I was not going to make some of the mistake. I was going to learn from their mistakes and then and be better. So that passion came, and then that's how I said, okay, let me develop myself a bit more and understand a bit more about this entrepreneurship. And then I did my PhD. And then now I went back to corporate when I was still doing my PhD. So when I went back to corporate, now I worked as a risk analyst in an investment company or firm. So when I was there, it was like the work was fine. I could do the work, but I couldn't feel it was not fulfilling me. I couldn't feel that thing that says, I really want to do this thing. I'm really passionate about this thing. But I could do the work because generally I believe in when I do something, I want to do it well and excel. So I spent my time there for about 3 years being there. And the other thing that I didn't like was that there was no flexibility in the kind of work that I did, because I had to, every day, I had to wait for the markets to close because we were running a risk book. I had to wait for the markets to close so that we can do the risk report at the end of the day and send to management. And I didn't like the fact that there was no flexibility. And I started thinking, what else to do? And then I kept on going back. My thoughts kept on going back to say, but I enjoyed the teaching when I was at CPUT. Maybe it's something to consider. And then I changed again. So I resigned. I left the investment firm, and then now I went to do my PhD full time. And then now I started teaching part time, and then I realized that this is really what I enjoy to do. So those who know academic space, the money is not, you don't get the big salaries that people in corporate get. But what I found was that I was fulfilled. I was enjoying it. I was really happy. I really found a model that I can kind of like match different things under one umbrella. So I enjoyed the teaching. I was passionate about supporting entrepreneurs. I was still also passionate about the stats. And then now I combined all these different skills that I got. I got some skills when I was a lecturer at CPUT and some experience. I got different skills when I started when I was a statistician, and I got different skills when I was now a risk analyst. And also when I was still a student, also I used to work in the admin. I got other skills there. So the picture I'm painting here, what I'm trying to say is that if you're doing something and we are not enjoying it, if you want to find what we are passionate about, be comfortable to change, and don't stay into something that just because you've been there too long. If you are not enjoying it, it's hopefully you're going to have a long life, and it's just too long to stay into something that you really don't enjoy. So I changed, but the benefit of changing, as much as you change, you get into another environment and being a starter, but you come up with different skills. So the benefits of looking for passion, your passion is that you collect different sets of skills in the process, and also you collect different kinds of experiences. And that gives you a competitive advantage. Like at the moment, I am an entrepreneur. I've got skills and experience of being an entrepreneur. I've got skills and experience of being a statistician. I've got skills and experience of being a researcher. I've got skills from managing a business. So I've got different skills. And that allows me also when environments change or the economy change, I can always use different skills depending on which one is in demand at the time. So that is one of the benefits. Is that you get a different sets of skills that gives you a competitive advantage. But also there's also the other side that is negative as well, or that can be kind of like taxing. Is that in the process as well, you lose money sometimes, because if let's say you study something and then you decide to change the career, then now you need to go and pay and study something different. But as much as then you might end up spending more, but you are also developing yourself and getting different qualifications that can give you also a competitive advantage. So that is my long story short. So how you find your passion is that you change. You try something. You can only find by trial and error. You try something, it doesn't work, you change, you go try something else. It doesn't work, you change, you go try something else, until you will get to that point where you feel this is it. This is what I want to do. This is what my life is all about. Some people call it a calling. This is what I'm called to do. Depends, whatever you call it. But you get to that point where you feel I am fulfilled. I enjoy doing this. I can do it the whole night. Nobody has to push me to do it. And that does not mean that you won't have bad days where you don't feel like going to work, or where you don't feel like doing what you're doing. That is normal. That is just being a human being. But you will find that 90% of the time you will be enjoying doing what you are doing. And so what I am saying is that also don't be scared to make the wrong decision if you want to find your passion. If you are scared to make the wrong decision, then you will never find it. I normally say one of the things that sometimes we didn't have maybe an advantage of when we were younger, we were in a hurry to work because maybe of our economic situation. But if, for an example, you are a parent, you've got kids and you are able to support them, encourage your kids to choose something, even if it can be wrong later. Don't pressurize them to say, make sure the career that you choose is the right one. You can't change this thing. Allow them to choose whatever they think at the time is best. If it doesn't work, then it didn't work, but you got some experience and skills, and then you change it. And even us as adults, I know when we adults, after you've been in a certain environment for 20 years, to change becomes difficult. But that is one of the things that you have to be comfortable with if you want to find your passion. So you must be comfortable to change. You must be comfortable to make the wrong decision. You must be comfortable to fail. So you must be comfortable with a lot of things that might not be nice, so that you are able to get to that point where you can find what you are looking for. Steve Jobs say like because some people will say, how will I know that I've found it? You will know. Steve Jobs says like all matters of the heart. When you found it, you will know it, and no one will tell you. You will just feel it that this is it. This is what I want to spend my life doing. So my question is, I see there's some few people up on the comment. I can see Ntombi there. I can see Mweketsi's back. I can see Peladi. Do you want to share? What are your passions? Have you find it? If you want to share on the comments, what is your passion? Did you find your passion? I see Kosi there. Nonkulego, I see a lot of people there with comments. I'm looking for questions. If you can start dropping some questions there. I see Dudu, Zingisap. Okay. Peladi says skills are shift with continuous learning. We have to be resilient and emerge stronger in the day and age. Shengiwe, do not be afraid to make a wrong decision. Amen to that. Yes. So at school, one of the things is that at school we were told that failing is a bad thing. Failing is a wonderful thing. It's painful, but it is a wonderful thing. You benefit from it. And when we say failing is a wonderful thing, it's not because the experience of failing is wonderful, but it's because the lessons, the learnings that you get, no one will ever teach you that. You have to do it yourself and fail to understand it. So if you are scared to fail, yeah, then you tend to stay in places even if you are not enjoying it because you are scared. What if I get out of here and the next round never works? What if I try this one, then it's the wrong decision? Okay, you try it, it's the wrong decision, then you know. Be comfortable. Wow, that's Zingi. Tutu says, I don't deal well with failure. That yeah, there's a lot of people that struggle to deal with that because you first have to deal with the mindset that failing is bad. If you can deal with that and make peace with that failing is part of life that we have to endure and deal with it. So the minute you can change the mindset about failing to see it as a bad thing, a negative thing, then the minute you can start going closer to dealing better with failure. So that is one of the things, and it's difficult. It's not like you're going to fail and wake up tomorrow and then you are happy and dancing. Oh, I failed. I've learned something. It doesn't work like that. You go through the pain, you go through the emotions, you go through the process, but you recover quicker because if your mindset understand failure is part and parcel of life, you can't do without it. Otherwise, you're not going to change. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. So we have to make peace with that. That was Dudu's question, how saying that she doesn't deal well with failure. Noktula says, it's time I start the journey. I've delayed myself because of fear. Yeah, and the funny thing is the only way to deal with fear is to do what you fear, what you are afraid of. So there's no other way. There's no class that you will sit in and then they give you lessons and then after the class then you're not scared of anything. You'll still be scared. You still be afraid. But the mindset that says even if I'm scared of it, I will try it. That's the mindset we need to have, and that the peace that you make with yourself to say failure is okay. It's part and parcel of life. Because sometimes we want to be heroes. You know, the heroes we see on TV, they don't exist in real life. Every hero has got some failures behind. Through that is Priska. Through that, lessons from failure makes us wiser. My passion is in travel. I have found it. That's good to hear, Priska, that you found your passion. It will be interesting to hear the journey of finding that passion. One of the things that my younger sister said when I was telling her the story as to how I found my passion, she was like, "Yo, That is a long road. It's like you've got like 8 years or so to live. If you're gonna die, maybe because of age, some live up to 90 years. So you've got the time to try things. You can't sit for 8 years and just do one thing, really, just one thing for 8 years. That should be boring, I think. So try things and fail. Then you can have a story to tell, to say, I've done this. And you can have a story as well, not just to tell for the sake of telling, but to help other people also to find their own passion and make them comfortable with failing. So, yeah, so let's try things. Let's try and see. Sibo say, interesting topic, Dr. J. Okay, thank you for that. And Jesse say, the greatest achievement in life always comes after your greatest failure. And when we hear these statements, normally they sound nice, but to tell you the honest truth, when you go through that failure, it's not nice. It's tough. Like now I'm telling the story of my failures. It sounds like a story, but when I was going through the stuff, it was some serious stuff. I even developed, I used to be a very healthy person, but when I was running my first business, when things started going wrong, when the process of failure started, I started getting sick, I started getting migraines and all that. So when you go through the process, you don't even understand, why do I have to go through this? But later on, when you sit and reflect and connect the dots, that you appreciate. Like I've got so many skills, I've got so many things that I can do. I don't have only one. I'm not limited to being a statistician or to being an entrepreneurship teacher. Or there's multiple things that I can do, and I only got those things from the scars that I got. If I stayed at being a statistician after my first job that I got after varsity, then I would have stayed being a statistician, and analyzing data was going to be the only thing I can do. But I tried things, but it came at a cost. Jesse say the greatest achievement in lives. Okay, I've read that one already. Moketsa says, from my side, I failed in business twice, excelling in corporate for 13 years. How does one distinguish between being corporate, I'm not sure what's that, your work and passion? I am struggling with this distinguishing. I'll have to go and find a dictionary to check that word. But I think also some of the things, maybe if I can say, is that you have also to be a person who reflects. I know I talk a lot about reflection these days because I started to work a lot in the coaching space, and reflection is one of the tools or the key tools that we promote for self-development and all that. If you're a person who sits and reflect, not just sit and think, sit and reflect and ask yourself questions about things you do in life and all that, you'll get to understand yourself better. And the more you understand yourself, the more you will understand what things to try, so that you can be able to understand whether you found your passion or not. Oh, so he clarifies that whether you are good at or at your work, or it's just or whether it's passion. So if you are good at your work, you can be good at your work, but you have to ask yourself whether you enjoying it. Like when I did my first job, I was good at statistics, but I really didn't enjoy it at the time, and it it might mislead me to think that I really don't enjoy this. I'm not passionate about this. So you have to be able, as I was saying, to reflect and ask yourself questions about the things you do, about the things you achieve, as to whether is this really what I is my passion, and is this really what I'm enjoying? Is this really what I want to do? So reflection is one of the key things. Kosi says, the fear of starting something new at a later stage in life. How do I take the fear away, Doc? You can't. You can't take the fear, especially when we are older, because we have to be honest about this, that there will be certain things that will have to take a backseat for you to try certain things. Sometimes you might have to let go of a bigger salary, and at our age we've got responsibilities as well. So most of the things becomes an issue of sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice to go and find this thing you're looking for, or are you willing to tolerate what you are enjoying, or what? So it's that kind of a thing, the sacrifices, the trade-offs that you will need to make. But fear will always be there. It's just human nature that we fear the unknown. But the funny thing is, what we know today, we didn't know it before, but we went into it. That's why today we know and we are comfortable with it. So we need to start being comfortable with trying new things. And even if we're scared, because what are you scared of? You're scared to fail. And you have to give yourself the permission to say it's okay. Go and try. If you fail, you fail. But don't fail because you're sleeping on the job. Fail because you had challenges that you couldn't handle. So do your best. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you've tried. Then you don't stay there. Keep on asking yourself, maybe, like if I stayed and never tried to run a business, never tried to teach, I wouldn't have known that I will enjoy teaching. Yeah, the questions are running fast. We're supposed to finish at 1:15, so let's see how many we can take. Okay, some Kelsiwe says risk versus return concept. Zero risk taking equals to zero returns. It's time to take calculated risk, though you never know how it will work out. So you'll never know until you've tried. You only know once you have made the blunder or once you have succeeded. You can't foretell that this one is going to be a success or this is going to be a failure. You try, you fail, then you know. You try, you succeed, then you know. And unfortunately, that's how obviously you do calculated risk, but that's the only way you know, by doing it. And normally people say life in general as well. Looking for your passion does not mean you're going to get this 100% satisfaction. Normally people say in life is about 80-20. You have to decide what is the 20, what is the 80, and whether you are getting that. But if you are in an environment where 80% of the time you are not happy and 20% happy, then you start looking, am I getting my return on investment? So you want to at least have the good part higher than the bad part. So you'll never, even if you're passionate about something, you'll never find 100% of what you're looking for. Wow, I need to do this reflecting exercise because I sit and think and stress myself. Then you are not reflecting. If you sit and think and you stress yourself, then you are not reflecting. Because reflection is about asking yourself questions and evaluating the things that you are asking yourself questions about and looking at the possibilities as to what can I do better? What is it that I can do? How did I handle that? And why I handled it like that? And it also involves a lot of personal mastery in the process because you have to understand yourself to be able to analyze that. Katie says, I have more than one passion. My problem is that I am not business minded. I wish I could just get someone to help me, someone who could arrange my life for me. Hope that makes sense. Come, I'm a coach, Katie. You can come talk to me. Then we can coach you through the process to get there. And also, if you're not passionate about business, if you don't like business, you don't have to be a business person. We all prefer different things. There are people who prefer to be entrepreneurs full time. There are people who prefer to be employees full time. There are people who prefer to have a side plus their job. So we all prefer different things. So you have to understand yourself and say, what is it that works for me? I found a model that works for me. And you have to look for that model as to which one works for me and which one I need to run with. And then Zingisa says, been in a journey for 10 years myself, had failed on 2 businesses. I started, but even after I failed, I know I found my passion in the journey and cannot even think of doing anything else. With 2 varsity qualifications and 8 that was a long one, and 8 working in the corporate. The journey is worth it for your purpose. So yeah, really, that's what things I say. It's worth trying. It's worth trying. You don't want to get on the other side fresh with no scars and no nothing. Get the scars, and you'll be a better person. Don't be scared to get the scars. I'm passionate about serving people. I chose a career that aligns to that. My current job is not a 9 to 5; it's a calling. But now I want to serve at a bigger scale. That's in Tombi. Uh, Okay, so, sometimes you find that the things you're passionate about, you might find that you decide to do a balance to say, I'll do my job, which is not too taxing, but this is not really what I'm passionate about. But on the side, I want to do these things that I enjoy doing as well. So it's all about also finding the model that works for you. How do you deal with the nasty judgments? You once earned a decent salary, now you are struggling post taking a leap of faith. Why are you worried about people? The one thing in life is that if you're worried about people judging you, you'll never get anywhere because you'll never change people. They will judge you whether you've got a big salary or you've got a small salary. And if you want to do yourself a favor, just don't hang around with judgmental people, then you won't even get to hear them. Have in your circle people that understand what you are trying to do, people that you can motivate each other and go somewhere so that you don't get discouraged. Because if you are around people who judge you, who don't understand, who thinks life is all about being in a big corporate and getting a big salary, then you're not going to get far because they'll keep on discouraging you. And to motivate yourself is running business itself is tough. You need internal strength, and the last thing you need is people who will keep judging you and dragging you. And some of the things that you can't change in life, you just have to make peace with it and don't worry. People used to, when I ran my first business, I used to deliver. When I started, when I was still small, before I had a driver, I used to deliver my own stationery. So I used to carry that trolley and pull papers and all that and deliver. I was a delivery girl. And people were like, with a master's, and then but that's what I wanted to do. It's my life. You do what you want with your life. Why do you want to comment about mine? So do what you want. People will always say something. You can't change them. And I think that's about it, about the comments. But just to reiterate what I said, if you want to find your passion, don't be scared to try new things. If you want to find your passion, don't be scared to change. If you feel really what we are doing that we are not enjoying is bothering you, then that means it's time for you to start looking as to what is it that you can do that can fulfill you. If you try something, it doesn't work, get out. Somebody once say, if you are in a place and you don't like it, move. You're not a tree. So even tree get cut. So if you are in a space you don't like, it doesn't work for you. And when I say when you're in a space you don't like it, move. It's not like you will find a place 100%. So it goes back to that 80-20 thing. If you are in a space where really 80% of the time you are just miserable, then you need to move. And also not that you are miserable because you are the toxic person in there, making other people uncomfortable, and then you say you are miserable. So you have to check yourself first and understand yourself that I'm not the one causing the misery. And if you are not the one, then move, look for something new and try things. And if you feel you need, I always promote coaches and mentors because I'm looking for clients as well. So you can come to me if you feel I want to try something new, but I need somebody who can support me, somebody that I can bounce off my ideas of these things that I want to try. Give me a call or send me an email, jabulile@joyg.co.za, and we can chat and we can see how we can support you and help you to then achieve your dream or to get to where you want to get to. And thank you for joining us. That's it for today. Oh, I see. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're getting thank yous. Thank you, Dr. J, with the session. It is really inspiring and informative. I discovered my passion very early, social development, but have struggled over time to find a balance between that passion and other aspects of my life. How do I reignite my passion? Come, let's talk, Shagadipo. Because that's a first step that we have identified that you need to kind of reignite it and get it started. Come, let's have a talk and see how you can get started again. And thank you everybody. That was it for today. So this was my first time where I do live Facebook like this. We always go through Zoom and then we can't see. So today I wanted to see the people myself in the chats. So thank you very much everybody for joining us. I hope you got something, and parents, stop pressurizing kids to choose the right choices. Let them try and fail and support them. Don't be hard on them. Say, yeah, why did you choose this? Now you failed this and what? Support them. Give the idea to your kids early on that is okay to try things and fail and try again until you succeed. And that's the way we go. Okay, thank you. We are going off. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope so. Okay, bye. This is me, Casual. I'm always formal talking about SMMEs surviving COVID-19. So this was a casual one for me, which I hope you enjoyed. Bye.